Are you scared to invest in the stock market on your own, or maybe you feel like you're not confident enough or knowledgeable enough? Well, this video is going to walk you through step by step on how to invest your first $100 on your own in as little as 15 minutes without your money going to zero. If you want me to help you build your $1 million investment portfolio faster and with a more personalized experience, then apply for a spot in my Wealth in 7 program. The link is below. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Hung. I'm an author of 2 investing books, The Sassy Investor and Investing for Teens, How to Save, Invest, and Grow Money. I am a financial educator and a fee-only financial planner, helping people build their $1 million investment portfolio in the stock market. So if you're a beginner or you're already invested and have retirement funds from work but want to be more hands-on, this video is going to walk you through step by step how to invest $100 as a DIY investor. The first step is to pick a brokerage or bank where you will hold your investments with. Okay, so in Canada, we have big banks like TD, CIBC, RBC. They each have their own brokerage arm. For example, CIBC has Investor's Edge, TD has TD Direct Investing. For other brokerages that are cheaper and just as safe, we have Wealthsimple Trade and Trade. These are also good options. I use both of these platforms. So the first thing to do is pick a platform, pick a company that you want to use. The second step is to pick an account to open. In Canada, our 2 main ones are TFSAs and RRSPs. Now I'm going to say start with a TFSA because it grows tax-free. You can withdraw money from it tax-free at any point without penalty. And because of that, there are contribution limits. This is just so the super rich are capped. If you want more information on these 2 accounts, check out this video right here that explains the main differences between these 2 accounts. So right now, we're going to focus on opening a TFSA account. The third step is to go through the account opening process. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. They're going to ask you for your personal information like your full name, address, employment, citizenship, SIN number. Now, this is to make sure that you are indeed eligible to open an account. And also for tax purposes, they send slips to you and the CRA. So once your account is open, transfer money into it. And you can do this by making a one-time transfer, or you're going to be linking your bank account to this brokerage account so that it's easier in the future to transfer money from, say, your checking account to your investment account. Assuming this is your first time investing, if you've never done it before, it's best to start small. Once you've transferred money to your account, with Wealthsimple Trade, for example, it's very quick, takes couple minutes, and boom, you have money in your account and you can start making your first investment. Now, what will you buy as your first investment? Instead of buying an individual company like Apple or RBC, start with an index fund, an index ETF. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. So a fund can contain hundreds, sometimes thousands of companies. And what happens is a fund company will pool millions of dollars of investors' money together and buy hundreds of companies across the board, then slice that fund into small pieces and then distribute it to investors like you and I. So it's more accessible for us to get a lot of exposure without having to invest a lot of money. This way, you'll get to own many, many companies at the same time. So 1, your money won't go to zero, and 2, you will be very well diversified. For example, the S&P 500 index is simply just a list of the 500 largest US companies that are publicly traded. By investing in an S&P 500 index fund, you'll get exposure to all of those companies at the same time, which include big names like Apple, Tesla, Alphabet, Disney. And because these funds exist, it saves you the trouble of having to invest in all of those individual companies at the same time, which is really not very feasible for average investors like yourself and I. Each of those companies are over $100 per share. Now, who am I buying this index from? Well, there are fund providers, big names like BlackRock and Vanguard, BMO. They offer these funds to investors. If you check out their websites, you'll see a list of the funds they offer. So this is BlackRock's website, and this is a list of the funds that they offer. If we go over to Vanguard, go to products, ETFs, you're going to see a list of the ETFs they have to offer. So there's a lot. Which one should you choose? Say I want to invest in an S&P 500 index ETF. That is getting exposure to 500 of the largest US companies. Now, BlackRock and Vanguard both offer that ETF. Over here, we have the iShares Core S&P 500 Index ETF. iShares Core is just BlackRock's branding. And as I head over to Vanguard's site, going down the list, I see that they also have an S&P 500 Index ETF. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. So there really is no fundamental difference between these two ETFs because, again, both of these ETFs are copying the S&P 500 index, which is a list. So both of these funds are going to contain the same companies. Even with the fees, okay, we call it the MER, the management expense ratio. It's 0.09%. So that is cheap. With BlackRock, the fee here is also around 0.1%. So there's a 0.01% difference. Insignificant. That's not a deal breaker here. Okay. The primary difference is, well, they're just priced differently. So with Vanguard, if you buy 1 unit of VFV, it's $89.43. If you buy 1 unit of BlackRock's S&P 500 Index ETF, it's going to cost around $62.17. So if you just so happen to have only $63 to invest, well, that answers your question. You can buy XUS, you can buy BlackRock's ETF. In this case, we're starting with $100. So it's both of these ETFs are in range for us. Maybe you want to choose the one that's $62 and then take the rest of your $38 and buy something else and add that to your portfolio. Then the last step is to execute. Now I'm going to pop open my Wealthsimple Trade screen to show you how to do that. So when I go to my trading window, I'm going to select which account I'm going to be buying from. So again, I told you guys to open up a TFSA account. This is my TFSA account with Wealthsimple Trade. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to enter the ticker symbol right here. This is where you enter the name. The ticker symbol is different for each of these ETFs because it's like an identifier, kind of like a student number or a SIN number. So with Vanguard, VFV would be the identifier for their S&P 500 Index ETF. For BlackRock, XUS is their identifier for their S&P 500 Index ETF. So let's say I enter XUS in here, it's going to pop up and I can just click on it. Likewise for VFV, if I enter that in, I can just throw that in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy XUS. So under place and order, I'm going to make sure that my TFSA account is selected. The order type, market buy, that means I don't care what price I'm going to be paying for it. I'm not specifying a specific price. I'm not fussy about whether I pay $62.35 for it or $62.25. Okay, so that means I'm going to buy it for whatever price is available to be purchased from the next seller. And then I'm just going to click how many shares because each unit is $62.35. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to hit buy XUS. It's going to tell you how market orders work. Basically, it's just going to fill my order at the best available price. I'm going to hit next. It's going to hit continue. And then this is just to confirm the purchase of my ETF. So I'm going to click confirm order. And there it is. And that's it. That's how you make your first investment. Now, if you're looking for a more personalized experience instead of a DIY course on investing, but you still want to learn how to invest and of course, keep your finances organized, I can be your personal CFO to help build your $1 million investment portfolio in the stock market in as little as 8 weeks without your money going to zero, without getting another job, while building your investing knowledge and confidence. All you have to do is apply for a spot in my Wealth in 7 program, and we can chat more to see if you're a good fit for the program. The link is below.